Now we will do the complete disassembly of the SSR77A2. It will be exactly the same on this one. There is just the handguard extra and there is a Picatinny instead of this. So that's why I chose this one for the demonstration. There is just a little bit more that we can disassemble, which I'm really looking forward to. So let's get started by first removing the magazine. Make sure the gun is empty, which I have already done. Then we will take off any scopes you may or may not have attached, because those just get in a way. Also, if you have the battery in, which you shouldn't, you should remove that one, and we can set the recoil pad aside. Now, charging handle goes back because that allows us to twist the handguard. And also this button goes down, and now I can twist the handguard and pull it out. Again, there should be no magazine inside when you do this. We set this aside, and now we will also remove this block by pushing on this thing. Leave it in there because there is a small metal plate underneath that does the clicking. If you remove it, it can happen that it falls out. Actually, let's just remove it so I can show you. This is the metal plate that I was talking about. If you leave it there, it's going to be easier to put it back in place, but since this is a complete disassembly, why not? There we go. It's the upper part, and now we can access the gearbox, and then we will start disassembling further. Phillips head screwdriver. Here we have one screw and second screw. We will take these out, and we will get to the gearbox. There we go. Keep the screws together. You see these metal plates? They actually go here. Here is one, and on this side there is one missing, so that's where these screws connect. So make sure to keep it together in case one of them falls out. Now, to get out the gearbox, loosen this screw. We will take it out, and now we open the body a little bit. Maybe use a screwdriver to not damage it. We need just a little bit, and now we can get the gearbox out. And there we go. That's our gearbox out. Now we have this shell, which we will not need. So now we have all the main parts disassembled. You should never need to go into this. Same goes for the body. Here we will also take a look at the hop-up chamber and the barrel, and gearbox will be a separate video, but you should not need to go any further when it comes to the body disassembly. If there is a need for that, I will make a separate video on those as well, but to keep this rather short, let's continue with the barrel. This screw goes out, this one as well. And we see that once we loosen it, it is spring-loaded with this spring right here. And we can actually leave the screw. We will not leave it in there because it could prevent us from putting it back, which we don't want. So just remove it, put it aside. C-clip. Now we can also punch out the hop-up arm. Thank you. Leatherman is always handy. Now we take the arm out and also the pressure knob. Now I'm gonna carefully remove the barrel, and the bucking will probably stay in there, just like that. There is an O-ring, I'm gonna put it a little back. So for the hop-up bucking, you need to go slow and steady. You don't wanna rip it, you just wanna pry the sides off and slowly wiggle it out, side to side, pull a little bit more. It is a very tight fit, as you can see. That means it helps with seal, and you can get it out like this. Just be careful with it. Now we can set it aside. You see there is an O-ring here, O-ring here. We will not take those off because it's not necessary. Now, except for gearbox, we are as far as you should ever need. There is no need to disassemble further this body. I could show you how to disassemble this as well. There is a couple of screws. You know what? Let's just do it. This is still something you might want to disassemble when you want to take it off. As for this part, also not really any need to disassemble that. If there will be need for the video, I will make a separate one to keep this one relatively short. All right. There's just a couple of screws that are holding this in place. Notice that on the bottom of the handguard, the screws are longer, so don't mix them when you put it back together. And now it just slides off like this. Now, if we would want to remove this block that is holding it together, we can punch out this pin, just like that. Notice that on one side it's knurled, so you wanna punch out from the side that is flat, which is clearly visible when you see it with your own eyes. Here it's a little, there are ribs, so don't punch it in even more than that. And then this also slides off. All right, there we go. We also have the 3 sections. We can remove this. And also, this is also removable. I would need to clamp it in a vise or something. It's pretty solid. My hands are sweaty. 33 degrees outside. So yeah, there we go. This is the complete disassembly, except the parts that you will probably never disassemble. Now let's take a look at inside of the gearbox, and then we will put everything together as well.